Hey guys, this is Asad Siddiqui. I'm the owner and developer at iDesignSmart.com. We provide all kinds of WordPress solutions and third-party integrations and maintenance, e-commerce support, and stuff like that. So if you're interested to work with me, my contact information is in the description of the video. Today's video will be a short video, as you might have known already that I have a lot of content about the Avada theme and the Fusion Builder and how to build layouts with the Fusion Builder and how to update the theme and set up the demo content or layout and imports. What about the like bundle plugin updates and Fusion patches? So in today's video, I am going to talk about and discuss in depth about the templating system in Avada, or you can call it the library system as well, where you can basically save page layouts and then create new pages on a saved layout. So that will save you a lot of time. Certainly it is much faster to change a page than to just create a layout from scratch. And we'll explore some of the different type of options that are available to you. Note that it has been a long time feature and many people don't know about this, but it's been a long time feature where you can create individual pages based on any demo layout that is available with Avada theme, and your whole site does not have to be imported, but only the page. So today I'll just show you like how you can do it on an element level, how you can do it on a container level, how you can do it on a column level, and we'll discuss about what scenarios do we use this solution under, and then we will also discuss like what the global library elements are, and a global feature was introduced in the 5.3 version of the theme, I believe, or maybe later, but it is very handy dandy and I've used it really effectively. So let's jump right into that and start our discussion. So to start, I will just go ahead. By the way, this is just a demo content that I imported in my fresh WordPress installation. So what I'm going to do is to go in the edit page and make sure you're editing the page with the Fusion Builder, because the templating system or library system is a Fusion Builder feature. So right now we are in the Fusion Builder. If you see it with the default editor, you can, like if you're working with your own, you have to make sure that you're designing your page with the Fusion Builder. So just having a quick discussion of the icons. This is the history of the design or layout that you create. This is the delete page layout. I'm just reading the tooltips basically, and the icons are pretty explanatory. So this, the third icon, which you see as a box or a disk, is the save page layout. So this is the element that you can click on to save the page template as a layout and create new pages for that. This is the custom CSS for the page, and this will collapse this whole builder section. So if you click this, all the containers will be collapsed, and if you do this, then I guess they will be expanded, right? The opposites. Okay, so what we are really interested in is this box or disk icon, which saves the page layout. Now again, you can do this on a container level. So every blue bar that you see is a container or a full width section. So if you click on this will save the container in your saved containers list. If you do it here, it'll save the whole page layout like that, all the containers basically. You can do it on a page level, all the containers. You can do it on a container level, so it'll just save the container. You can do this on a column level, so it can save the column. Like let's say there's a cloud computing and this sample or whatever spacing, you can save this whole column and maybe use this column in a new container that you come up with. Now one thing to notice is, although we are saving the whole page layout, we are not cloning it. So the page template that is defined here, which is 100% width, will determine what kind of a page layout it is, and the page content basically will be this design. So if you want your new page to be exactly like this page, then you can make sure that the new page also has 100% width template selected. Otherwise it won't. Also, there are page options that might be different for new pages and this pages. This page might have some page options like Fusion page options. So the page option, the sliders, and all that, make sure that you have everything intact, and then or the same, and then you can use this. So a very common scenario where people use something like that is mostly they're like 2-column themes. For example, the about page will have 2 columns, and the contact page will have 2 columns, and so forth. So they will just save one section here as a container, as a element in their design, and then they can use it on the pages where they want, like alternating images and text. The other really very common scenario where I've used it a lot is like CTA, or call to action, on the pages. So for example, if you have something like download my free ebook right now, get started, and you want it to be a part of every page, what I'll do is I'll just create one element and just save it in my library, and just stick it on in all the pages I have from my from my library. So what is the problem with that? I'll just give you a demo of that really quickly, and we'll see how we can use it, and we'll just create a solutions page all over again. Actually, let's do that, and while doing it, we'll discuss what the issue is and what the solution is for that. So right now we have a page here called solutions. It has a nice slider up top, and it has a 2-column layout like I was discussing. Each column, like, there is some text and some nice elements there, nice images. So the same thing. So there's the next section with some separation and color, and it's an alternating design. So the image goes on the left and the text goes on the right in the next, and then you have scalable technology, and you have the same, basically the same section for IT security. Then you have a section with like something like that, you'd put a nice testimonial. This image also looks good for a testimonial, or like something that might have parallax. And then like you have some more other elements and some more elements and so forth, and then you have a footer. So okay, this is a nicely done page. So first off, what we want to do is to just save this section where it says backup and recovery, and then we'll use it on our new page that we create. So we go back to Fusion Builder and locate where this is. So if let's say cloud computing, because it will be easier to locate, it's the first thing that comes up is called cloud computing. So we'll go to edit page and see where this container is. So cloud computing is right here, and this is the section that we want to work with. And what we want to do is to save this container. Okay, I don't want to save it as a global. I am going to explain what global means in a second. I will just say some name here, cloud computing container. So it can be anything. I just like to define it. So basically you can just say save container, and now my container is saved. So if I go on a new page and I want to use this, I'll show you how you can do that. But while we are here, we will also save a column. So let's say this is scalable technology column, which covers the whole thing. You can do that, and you can save the column and do that. And okay, so we have a column, we have a container, and I guess you can do elements as well. So let's say this particular counter circle, I want to do that. So I'm gonna click on the save icon button, and okay, so now I've saved the element, a column, and a container. And now what I am going to do is to just create, while we are here, we also want to do the whole page as is as well. So we can do this. And now this is a template. So the or I will say solutions. So solutions page template. So save template. Okay, so now the solution page template is loaded. Okay, great. So I have everything that I needed from here, and I've saved a bunch of containers, and now we'll go ahead and create a new page. So basically I will just go ahead and create a new page. So I will just call it a new page. I'll make sure that I'm editing with the Fusion Builder. And the first thing that I need to do, the first thing is I can add a container to my page. And once I add a container to my page, it wants me to select what kind of columns my container will have. So I'll go to the library containers, and there is a cloud computing container that I saved from my previous page. So I can just click on that. Now instead of cloud computing, this page might be about something else. So I'll go to the text view, and where it says cloud computing, I'll say cloud computing new. Okay, and I will just save it, and then I will publish, because if you want to view the page and see what happens, basically it won't have the slider. So while I'm at it, what we will do, okay, let this be updated and come back. Okay, so now we want to put a slider as well. Slider evolution and number 5. Okay, so that is good, and I will update the page. So right now I've basically created a page that has only one container, which I saved from the previous, and you can see that I didn't have to do like all the column work and all the image work. So I can just basically change this content, and it's fairly quick. So you can do a view page on it, or you can just preview changes, and that will also show you. So the new page, this is the slider that I configured. And if I go down, then you'll have a new page. You can turn off this option, so you can go there, and under page title bar, instead of default, you can say hide, update. Okay, this time I'm gonna try the preview changes option. So I will just click on preview changes, and it opens a new tab automatically, and it's in the preview mode. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so now you don't see this bar, and you do see that there is the whole container that we created. Now you see that the spacing and padding is not the same as it was there, because the page template that we have is default template as opposed to the 100% width. I guess that's it. So once you do that, it'll reduce the spaces, the white margins that you see. So right now, because the default template has margins, so that's why you're seeing a bigger margin. Maybe now it will be reduced. So now I'll just refresh the preview and see where it goes. So there you go. So there is our nice container, and that is what we saved in our library. So similarly, you can, let's say I add a new container. So let's say a new container, and I'll say 1 by 1. And inside of the new container, I want to put an element. So I can go ahead and put an element. And from library elements, I only have counters. So instead of that, I will delete this, and I will say plus columns. So I want to add columns to my container. So when I say columns, I can add library columns, and if I have saved a column from before, that's right there, and I can just update it. So once I update it, we'll look at the preview, and then you can also do the same thing for the elements as well when you're adding the elements. So remember, When you're adding the container, you can select what container you want to add from your library. When you want to add a column, you can select what column from the library you want to add. And when you're doing the element, you can select the element. And it is not essentially the same as cloning, because there's a much faster way to do this. You can just install a duplicate page plugin, and that will give you the option to duplicate things by a click of a button, and that is fairly neat. We do that all the time as well. So that is also one way to do this, but I like to have Fusion Builder elements, and like this container is not configured to be full width in my scenario, but this is a good example of what you will get. Okay, so that is pretty much about it for the templating system. You can do the whole page as well. So what I will do is I will get rid of this container and get rid of this container and go here and okay, so if I go to container, library containers, okay, special, so I want to access templates. So basically the templates are, let me locate, okay, right there. So the first the Fusion Builder row, you can go to the disk thing and you just click on load here, not click it but hover over it, and can see the option replace all page content, insert above, insert below. So I'm gonna replace all the content, and basically what you will see is everything that was on the page below will come here. So you have all the design that you had on the other page basically. So all we did was we selected the template and we selected a page title not to be displayed, and set up the slider evolution for this. So maybe we can duplicate slider evolution and change the solutions to a new or something like that. So you can see how quickly I can create these pages. Oh, okay, that didn't happen. Maybe I didn't save it or update it, so we'll do that next. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Okay, so that is all there. I'll update the page. Maybe I got excited and forgot to click the update button. So looks like it's happening, and okay, and refresh it. Or maybe there's something with the preview. Okay, I will just view the page. I guess the preview functionality is not the best in the world. Okay, there you go. So all the sections are there like they were on the previous page. So that is how I can use the library element. Now one more thing is I will go ahead and create a new page. So also you can do this for your blog posts as well. So usually blog posts follow a fixed pattern, like you might have your call to action or like contact form somewhere, featured image somewhere. So you can create a nice layout for one and then just keep replacing the content. So that's a very handy dandy feature. Okay, so now what I want to do is create another page, and what I'm going to do is click on this layout button, and what you will see here is demos. So basically you can select what different demo, all the Avada demos that are available to you, and let's say you want to see a preview. So I will just do a Google search and go to the theme forest page, avada.themefusion. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so this is the classic layout, but here you will basically see all the options that they have, like the classic, spa, or movers, or I am using one of the newer ones, which is Avada IT, the freelancer. So let's say Avada Science, let's say, or maybe we write Avada Creative. So we like the creative. Okay, so we will select okay, we can go in and take a look at how their pages are done. Okay, so this is the home page for the creative and it looks like a nice layout. Remember, there are some global theme options that are set up uh, for the theme setup. So that might be different in their scenarios and yours, in which case you'll have to style it. So just to show you what the option is, let's say you really like this layout and you want to base everything on this. What you're going to do here is select Avada Creative, which is right there, and then all the different pages will be available to you to use. So I will just load one of that, and it gives me a warning saying page will remove all other page content, Fusion page options, and page template, Fusion theme options, and demo images are not imported. Click OK to continue. So that's fine, because I'm not going to use the same images anyway, and you can see that the images are basically showing a empty thing, so you might have to put in your own images. It'll just show you the dimension of what it is. So I'll close this, and I'll view this page in a separate tab. There you go. So you can hide this bar if you'd like, and you can like 30 by 16, that's the option. But basically that's the whole page layout. Without the block content might be pulling block content from you and stuff like that, but for the most part you will have all the options that are set with Fusion Builder and the layout set up for you. So you can do that with any demo page, and I have not imported the whole demo content, so that just this one page I wanted to base it on an existing demo, which I did. One more thing I wanted to discuss was the global templates, or what do we exactly mean when we say when we want to make a container global. So just to explain it to you, the reason that we have these templates or library elements is that we can use it across multiple pages. So a lot of times people would use specific elements, like for example the client logo reel. This might be a good example, or something near the footer of the site, like the cloud is RDNA, get started. So like a call to action. So this template or library elements are used a lot for the call to action stuff, and usually these are present on all pages, and we use the library element. We just create it one time and then we can just add it to all the pages. Now let's say we decide to update it in the future, like let's say instead of this we want to say something else, or we add something to our message, or something changes about this section. Basically we'll have to edit all the pages where there is. So the solution for that, if you don't want to edit everything, was to use a global library element, and it will automatically update wherever you have used it. So what we will do now is I will just go ahead in the page and make this a global CTA, and then replace it with the global CTA, so I can just demo what I explained. So I will go back in the edit mode of the page where the Fusion Builder is, and locate where we have the cloud is our DNA section. Okay, it came up, and going down the page, it's the last element, the cloud is RDNA. So here is the CTA that has the get started button, and the cloud is RDNA. So we'll go back to this save container option, and we will save this container as our CTA global. So it doesn't matter what the name is, you can call it global or not, but I'm using global so I remember what exactly it is. And this time we'll save this checkbox that says save as global, and then save the container. Okay, so that is all done. Now I'll exit out of it. Now I can delete this container, and instead I will use the container from my library, which is the global. Like there you see this icon, this is a global container, the tooltip. So that's telling you that this is a global container. So we'll click on that, and that should bring our CTA back. Now this is our global container. I will just go ahead and update the page and look at it to make sure everything is the same. And while this is updating, I will go ahead and open this link in a new tab. Make sure my CTA is there and it looks correct. Okay, this is my page. Scrolling down, looks like everything is fine. So that's the page. Now we want to, let's say, add this container to our about page. So let's go to about page. And here we'll just leave. So the about page looks like this currently, and let's see if they have a footer. The cloud is our DNA is here as well. So let's say we want to replace it, delete it, and we will just replace it with our global container. So open link in a new tab. And we'll go down and locate where that section is. Right there. So I will just delete this container, and then we'll add a container which is our save global CTA. Okay, so now I have two pages on the site which have this library container which is global, and let's say instead of 2 I had 10. Now I want to update this message to the cloud. 2 is our DNA, is in our DNA, or something like that. So I want to basically make an update to this bar, and I don't want to do it in 10 different places. So what I'm gonna do is simply update the global sidebar, or update the global container. So because this is a global container, instead of get started, I will say start free. So that's the change I want to make to our global container, and update the page. And you can, if you don't want to make this part of the container a global container, you just saw the icon that and the tooltip, you can just click on it. So if you want this page to not have the global container, you can click on that and it'll become a part of the page. So now if I refresh the page, I should see the start free option instead of get started. Now if I go back to the home page, or the Avada IT, I can click on here as well. So if I go back here, you will see that the global sidebar has taken effect, and instead of saying contact us or whatever it was saying, it says start free. So it was saying get started before, but we did not update this page, but it got updated automatically because we updated the global container. So those are the global containers. They first got introduced in 5.3 of the theme, and now they are just a part of the Fusion Builder. So just an add-on, just I wanted to explain what is exactly meant by global containers. So that is pretty much about it. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment in the video, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks very much for watching. Until next time.